And now enjoy this free Jason Modcast show.
Hey there, this is Ralph Garman, and you are listening to the World of Myth Bits with Mike and Stephanie. You made an excellent choice.
The World of Myth Bits.
Welcome to the World of Myth Bits podcast. I am your lovely host, Stephanie Barty, and this is my exasperated co-host,
Mike Lutz. Not exasperated. I'm just stunned at the level of eight podcasts in, and the egotism is.
No, I am a lovely co-host. I'm a lovely host. I'll invite you in. I'll make you tea. The first time. The second time, you can fucking find it yourself.
Okay. All right.
That's the rule at my house. The first time you're a guest, the second time you know where the goddamn kitchen is. My house is small. Off you go.
The first one's free. You got to buy everything else thereafter.
No, you don't have to buy it. You just have to go get it out of the kitchen
That's what it
yourself.
means. You're purchasing it with your own sweat and effort. That's what that means. So.
Yes. Don't make me get my ass off the couch.
You're lucky I just said, yeah, come in. When the door
That's usually what, come in! And then I wave.
Yeah.
How you doing?
All right, so for this episode.
Nobody comes to visit me.
Oh, I know, because they're all standing, there's like probably a pile of bodies frozen to death on your front doorstep waiting to come in, so.
Well, yeah, that and I live in Siberia, so.
Wow.
Might as well be.
Well, at least it said Siberia is not that far off. I just saw a news report. Calgary just got buried with snow.
Oh, Bird has been getting snow all summer.
Yeah, well, fuck
off
those
and
guys.
On.
They can keep it.
And Newfoundland. My friend Angela, who lives in Newfoundland, was posting pictures. The one week, she's out enjoying the deck and the sunshine, and she's got all her little seedlings, and then the next week she's got 5 inches of snow.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
This is nowhere near ready for that.
No, Ontario is like the best province to live in because we're kind of sheltered.
Especially down where I'm at. I consider this the banana belt of Canada. So.
You are.
Or at least, there was a couple winters ago when it was just horrific. And I'm looking at Montreal and I'm just going like, those poor bastards, they're all going to die. And our roads are clear and we're just going like, well, this winter is not that bad. Then I flip on the news and oh, this winter sucks for everybody else. So. Oh
yeah, we get a lot of snow, but like I said, we're right on Georgian Bay. So every snowfall we get is lake effect snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we don't get inches at a time. We get feet.
Yeah. No.
I mean, we were out there shoveling the driveway and we'd cleaned off the van when the van was working and we're shoveling the driveway and we get half the driveway done and we turn around and we can't see the van anymore because it's covered in snow again.
Well, you're throwing the snow in the wrong direction. Don't throw the snow back the way you came.
Well, we finally invested and got a snowblower.
There you go. I remember one winter.
I don't have to do the driveway anymore.
I would. You still get a snowblower. That's fun. Then you can go around to the rest of the people in the neighborhood and make a couple bucks.
Oh, Phil does that, but he does it for free.
Oh, Phil, he's a fucking philanthropist.
He's a nice guy.
Philanthropist?
Yeah. He did the neighbor's yard.
Philanthropist. Oh, really?
Well, he did the neighbor's driveway, and the company that the neighbor was working for, he had a work truck, so he parked the work truck in the front yard.
Yeah.
And he got stuck one morning because, he didn't shovel his front yard. And so he went to work. Phil went out there with the snowblower and cleared him a nice little spot in the front yard.
Phil.
He does a racetrack around the backyard because we have such a long backyard.
Yeah.
And Odie my dog, loves the snow. Like he'll get out there and when somebody's water skiing and they can get the big rooster tails?
Yep.
Odie loves fresh fallen snow because he will get out there and he'll get as low as he possibly can. Now this is a dog that's got 3-foot legs. Little skinny body. He looks like he hasn't quite grown out of the puppy stage yet.
Okay.
But he's seven.
Oh, all right.
He's that gangly, awkward
Teenager legs.
Just starting puberty.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he'll get as low as he can, and he'll run through that fresh fallen snow, and all you see are these snow rooster tails coming up off him. And he does laps around the backyard. But he won't do his business in the deep snow because things dangle and they get in the snow, and he can't hold his ass up that high.
Shrinkage.
So, yeah. So
it is a very real thing.
Phil gets out there with the snowblower,
Yep.
and he blows him a
Whoa.
trail.
Oh, okay.
No. This is not that kind of show.
No, it almost
talk
was.
about that kind of stuff on Seeing Red.
It almost
don't do
was.
that.
Oh, okay.
It almost was.
It's just like, wow, where's she going with this one? It's like, oh, poor Phil. You went from being a great guy to a bestiality freak. So
Well, he's married to me. You haven't seen me first thing in the morning.
the dude is stronger than we thought.
Oh yeah. He knows the method to taming the beast, and that's coffee.
Well, yeah. That's always a good start. So, What did you, since this is supposed to be an interview, I know.
We don't have one.
No, we don't. But luckily, we have a past member of the month.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Aren't you lucky? You are in the presence of
Here it comes, folks.
World of Myth.
Here it comes.
Royalty.
World of Myth royalty.
I can't. I tried.
Dave is going to have to change your bio.
I can't do that with it. No.
Like Photoshop like a tiara on you or something like that.
No.
World of Myth royalty. Shut up. What's the matter with you?
I worked out tonight, so I'm like a little...
Oh, all the endorphins are just...
No, they're gone now. just coming up the stairs to do the podcast. I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. I can't. There's only 12 stairs.
Ah.
Yeah, that was
It's a walk in the park.
That was a bad idea on my part.
Why?
My stepper is upstairs in my room.
Yeah.
So I get up, I did my brisk walk from home uphill. And if you live in Midland, you know, any direction that you decide to go, it's uphill.
Of course. Why wouldn't it be?
Doesn't matter. It's uphill.
Yeah. Oh, it is like my dad used to tell me when he was a kid, he would walk to school 40 miles uphill both ways in 18 feet of snow. And I was just like, really? Where are those pictures? He goes, oh, this is before cameras. So I went, oh, that every old fart.
Phil went fishing with my brother and my brother-in-law this weekend. It was like a guy's fishing trip. Damn it. And
how dare the men get something for themselves?
I wanted to go. They've had a few. I want to go fishing. Yes, I'm one.
Okay, you sent me pictures. You live close to water, right?
Well, yeah, I can walk down.
Okay, then walk down and go fucking fishing.
But they were going for speckled trout.
They're going for fish, right?
Well, yeah, but
okay, is there fish in the water where you live?
Fuck you. They were going for
specific... No, fuck you. You go fucking fishing. You leave the men alone. They want to fucking go fishing.
They walked in. He was telling me they walked in one direction, and it was all uphill to get to this lake. So they decided to walk out another direction. They got home, and he says, I can honestly say that when we went fishing, we walked in and walked out uphill both ways. No whiskey tonight. Oh, I'm disappointed.
I gotta go do my run tonight after the show.
That's right. You have to do your workout.
Yeah. As you can plainly tell.
Started this mess.
I did. Well, they said this is, I've got 9 months to get ready for an obstacle course.
You can create a human being in 9 months.
I know. That's basically what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to recreate myself. To be able to do this, like, it's only 5K, 3.1 miles, but I want to be able to do this run and actually not be crippled at the end of it.
Makes sense. So, I want to do the Tough Mudder. Friends of mine do Tough Mudder every year.
Yeah. And
I don't know, do they have Tough Mudder in the States?
Oh, yeah.
So they would know what it is. I wouldn't have to explain it.
No, they know. Everybody. It's Tough
The only
Mudders
thing-
worldwide.
The only thing that freaks me out is the electric
Oh,
having to go underneath.
electroshock. Yeah, and
I get zapped, and that's just going to piss me off.
yeah, my brother.
Because you're wet, you're muddy.
Oh yeah, it sucks. I watched it because my brother and a bunch of his buddies did one a couple of years ago in Michigan, and me and Mags went to watch, and the electroshock therapy, that's what they call it, basically is electric fence strands hanging down from rafters, and they have trenches and bales of hay alternating. And the trenches are full of water. And it is probably 20 yards in length from the beginning of it to the end of it.
Yeah.
And there's no getting around it. You are getting electrocuted. And
Well,
it looks like it sucks because the one group I saw, they came up and the guy talked them into linking arms and walking backwards through it. And
oh hell no! I want to see it coming. I want to know.
Nope.
I want to prepare myself.
Nope. These people, they went, all right, and they did it, and they started to, like, kind of fast walk backwards.
So the first dude gets hit and creates a chain reaction.
Absolutely. And they all went down. And it was fantastic. Where's me and Max are standing on the sidelines, and all you hear is this crack of the electricity.
Yeah.
And we're just like, oh, and they're like, all five of them go down in a heap, and I was like, oh,
it had a longer current to go.
Yep.
So, it could build up a little juice.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. Yeah.
A group of friends and I did something similar with a TINS unit. You know those little units with the electric pads that's supposed to stimulate? Yeah, we did that. And we had the one person hooked up to the unit.
Yep.
And then we joined hands to see how far the current would go. And I think we had like 9 people. And the very last person's like, yeah, I can kind of feel a tingle. Meanwhile, the first 3 are like, oh, blah, 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 blah.
It's just like grabbing a live wire. Oh, this is a great idea.
The one that I saw involving the electric current, you have to crawl through the mud on your belly.
Yep.
And it's laid out over top in
strands?
strips of wire.
Yep.
So you have to stay down because it's up and down and hilly and everything. And you're going to get zapped.
Well, as soon as your ass goes up a little bit, you're going to get it.
And it's like 3 inches above the water. So you either hold your breath and drown and go as fast as you can, or breathe, get zapped, take a breath, under you go. Yeah. Like that would zap me once and I would be through that like a shot.
Well, 2 of my Whiskey Wednesday companions, they did a Tough Mudder in Ohio. And my one buddy, Scamahorn, he was doing well until he came up behind a dude who freaked out in a half submerged culvert. The guy couldn't get any traction to get out of it. And Scammy came up behind him, like come up out of the water and almost ate a boot almost instantly as this guy was freaking out because he couldn't figure out how to get out. And he was starting to slide backwards. And Scammy's going, push against the front, like the top and the bottom and crawl out. And the guy's, and then I think one of the marshals had to reach down and grab this guy and pull him out because he just was not getting out of that.
Well, that's why you do it as a team.
Yeah.
Because, you're going to have other team members there that if you have a problem, like I know right now that you forget it. I'm not going to even make the first 20 feet. But getting up over that wall, having to climb that wall, because I have tremendous leg strength. Like I can move shit with my legs. It's what I've always done. I've always sat on my ass and like pushed furniture. Yeah. I have very little upper body strength.
Okay.
So pulling myself, like, remember in high school we had to do that stupid goddamn rope. You had to climb up the freaking rope. Thank God they put knots in it because I didn't climb it. I pushed myself up it with my legs.
Well, technically that's how you're supposed to do it anyways.
Yeah, well, I have no upper body strength, so.
Well, start doing your push-ups.
You ever get into a fight with me, just hold my legs. Because then you'll be safe. Because I got nothing. I got nothing.
Right. Good to know. Like I said, I'll put that one right into the memory bank.
All right.
So, if it ever comes down to a fist fight, watch the legs, go for the arms.
Yep, just watch the legs, because I will take you out with my legs. Oh, my brother, he used to come at me all the time, because, I mean, I'm 5'3". I'm short. And back then, I was 120 pounds soaking wet. So a strong breeze would blow me over.
Okay.
And he is 5'8", 5'9".
Taller than
And
you.
he was, a lot.
Okay.
Like, Utu tall.
Utu's over 6.
Okay, when Utu hugs me, I get armpit.
Yeah.
Good thing he wears deodorant.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling
That
you.
is a good thing.
But, and he was like a baseball player, hockey player. He still is. Very athletic.
Yep.
So, very muscular, very strong. And we would play fight in the front yard. Well, I have a lower center of balance than he does.
Yeah. Because you're short.
So I would just basically wrap my arms around his waist and then sweep his legs out from underneath him.
Oh, there
Down
you
he'd go every single time.
There you go. You should think about taking jiu-jitsu.
I taught my nephews how to do that.
There you go.
His kids, I taught them how to do that.
Yeah. Go join a jiu-jitsu class.
I've thought about it. Or something like kickboxing or something that uses a low center of gravity.
Jiu-jitsu.
Like low, yeah.
Jiu-jitsu. That would be the best, like, for anybody, really.
I like the idea of
there's really no negative that I can think of about taking a jiu-jitsu class, other than somebody else is going to sweat on you. But that's not a big deal.
But then I get to beat people up, so yeah, that'd be fun.
I hate
spar. I get to spar.
I was going to say, I hate to rain on that parade of a thought.
Know.
So, I'm the type of person that would take a self-defense class. Yeah.
And then intentionally walk around town
Trying
in the
to get in
skimpiest
people.
outfit I can find at 3:00 in the morning as all the drunks are getting out of the bar, just so that I could use it.
See, you're the reason people keep statistics. You know that?
I know.
I
don't do it, but
not anymore. But you just said you did.
no, I said I'm the type of person that would.
Oh, all right. But you're not gonna.
I see a cop and go frisk me. I have contraband, especially if he's cute.
Carry on, citizen.
I am seriously, yeah. A lot of my more feminist friends and women's libs friends aren't very happy with me all the time.
It sounds like you're full of regret right now.
I'll use my wiles if I have to. There are benefits to being a woman, and I will use them to get out of a ticket
back
if
the
I
movement
need
decades.
I know. I'm so ashamed.
You may as well turn in your voter registration card too, since you want to.
Apparently, I'm not allowed to vote in the town vote. I didn't get a card this time.
Oh no!
No, Phil did. We're having the town elections. I can vote in the federal and provincial and all that. So we just got all the towns, voting for a new mayor, a new ward, and blah, 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 and all that stuff.
Oh, that's today, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about politics.
Yeah. Well, the only a guy I know from school is running, and he's a really good guy, and he is actually going to breathe some life into the decrepit old people that are on council.
No, he's not.
Well, he says he is, but
They all.
But anyway,
again, they all say that.
The voter registration cards came, and I didn't get one.
Well, I guess you probably have a restraining order of some kind.
Well,
do you have an unpaid parking ticket?
No, you're right. A couple.
Do you have outstanding bench warrants?
Not anymore.
You had to stop and think about maybe. Well, maybe I do.
I did pay. I had one once when I had my car accident.
A bench warrant for a car accident?
Yes, for an unpaid. I didn't pay my fine. Oh, I had guardian angels on my shoulder that day. Let me tell you. My first car accident ever.
Okay. What were you driving?
And I was driving my convertible.
Convertible?
My Dodge convertible. It was a Dodge 600, I think, convertible.
Okay.
And I was just got off work.
Were you
Went
drunk?
and picked my... No.
Boozy
I
chocolates?
was not. I wasn't working. I wasn't working there yet.
Oh, okay.
And I drove out. My kids were out at the babysitters.
Okay.
Who happened to live out in the country. Drove out there to get them. And this was back in the day when you could still smoke in the vehicle with your kids. You know, I had the window rolled right down. And, in all reality, the accident, it was my fault. I was putting the cigarette lighter back in the hole and I took my eyes off the road.
Distracted driving right there.
Yes. And when I looked back up, I had veered onto the soft shoulder.
Yeah. Then you overcorrected?
So I overcorrected and I went to hit the brake to slow down because I was doing 60.
In a 40?
I was wearing...
Speeding.
No, it's a 50.
Okay,
I was only doing 10
if you're
over.
doing 60 and a 50, that is still technically speeding.
On a curve. Anyway, carrying on.
The bench warrant shouldn't have been for the accident. It should have been for child endangerment.
I went to take my foot off the gas and put it on the brake, and I was wearing heels because of the job that I worked. My heel of my shoe got stuck on the floor, so I thought I was on the brake, and I actually hit the gas, and I slammed on the gas, which pulled me farther into the ditch. Now, this is in the country, so it's a fairly deep ditch.
Oh, yeah.
And
because those city ditches are called sewers and they're underground.
I was coming up to a trailer park that had a dirt road to get in. So they had those great big, huge 3-foot culverts.
Yeah.
That they put across the ditch so they could put the road over it.
Yep.
And, water goes through. And now this is, the next part of this story is from the police report.
You've memorized the police report?
I don't remember it.
Because the concussion?
Yes.
Awesome. Hey, we can be concussion buddies.
I've had a few.
Join the club. What did I wrestled for 20 years.
Mine have usually involved alcohol.
No.
And high heels. One involved alcohol, high heels, and dancing on the hood of a car.
Well, most of that, is like a synonym for self-inflicted. So
yes. So there's no sympathy.
No.
No sympathy for self-inflicted wounds.
Okay,
anyway,
so you drove your car into a culvert.
They figured I hit the ditch doing about 75.
Speeding.
Yes. Because I panicked and I hit what I thought was the brake, and it was the gas.
Well.
Now, I hit the culvert.
Okay.
And instead of, stopping dead, it launched me into the air.
Part of the Canadian space program.
The police measured, I went 113.6 feet in the air.
Jesus Christ.
In my car. Now, when I landed, they said it was absolutely bizarre. They took pictures. The pictures were in the police station for the longest time because it was just so bizarre. When my car landed, it didn't slide, it didn't skid, it didn't keep going, it stopped and stayed. There was no more movement. It just stopped and stayed. Unfortunately,
you kept moving.
I kept moving.
Atta girl.
Now, I would have been okay if I had kept both hands on the steering wheel because I would have had enough strength to brace.
Yeah.
For impact.
Yes.
But
you were being cool and you had your left arm hanging out the window, right?
No, I threw my arm across my son who was sitting in the seat beside me.
Was he in a government approved car seat and or seatbelt?
Yes. He was 2.
Say that now.
He was 2.
Okay. Was it rear facing?
No, it was front facing.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
This is going back 25 years. They didn't have rear facing car seats for kids that size.
I beg to differ, madam. I'm sure we could Google one up right away.
Anyway, I threw my arm across him.
Okay.
Just out of habit, because it's what you do.
What, protect the youngins?
I've done it to Phil. When somebody's pulled out in front of us when we're driving, I will throw my arm across him to hold him in his seat.
Okay, my question...
It's a mother thing.
My question to you would be, what is the efficacy of you throwing what you're already admitted no upper body strength arm across Phil?
None.
Exactly.
None.
So,
anyway,
wouldn't it be smarter to let Phil and his restraint system?
He wasn't there.
No, but you just said you've done it for Phil, right?
Well, yeah, it's a habit thing now.
Okay, well, let
either that or I'm slapping him because
let Phil go fishing and deal with his own car accidents.
Anyway, I bent the culvert up 4 feet in the air when I hit it.
Oh, jeez. Holy fuck.
When I hit it hit the front of the car, and it shoved the engine right back completely up against the firewall. They couldn't believe that it hadn't broken through and was in my lap. I slammed my face into the steering wheel, and the steering wheel, they still can't figure this out either. I should have, by all rights, hit the steering wheel on the underside of my nose.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't hit the steering wheel coming forward. I hit the steering wheel coming back up, and it caught me across the upper bridge of my nose and completely flattened the top part of my nose all the way across. Like,
God.
You could stand and look from one eye clear across to the other eye. There was nothing there.
Oh,
just shattered it. So I'm sitting in the car, I'm stunned, and very slowly sound starts creeping back in. You hear about it in movies, and they do that sound effect thing in movies, and you think, yeah, okay, whatever. It is true.
Oh, I believe you. I believe you.
So sound starts, slowly seeping back in, and I can hear the engine roaring. So in my dazed, I start kicking the gas to kind of kick it down because it's revving.
Yeah.
So, when a car, back then, car's revving, you hit the gas and it kind of knocks it back down out of gear. And then I realized, oh shit, it's still in drive. Let's take it out of drive, put it in park, and then I can hear my kids screaming.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to deal with the kids, make sure they're all okay. Andrew, he looked fine, he was just terrified. So I get him out of his seat, and I get him out of the car, and he's with me, and I lean into the back seat to take William, who's 9 months old, out of his car seat.
Yep.
And when I leaned over, the pressure, at this point, I kept rubbing my nose with my mitten going, okay, I must have scratched it. There must be a scab or something, because my mitten kept sticking and kept catching. Oh. I didn't know what it was.
Was it,
when I leaned over,
bone fragments? Yes. Holy fuck.
Yes. When I leaned over to get William out of his car seat, the pressure burst something.
Burst the dam, probably.
Pretty much. And I completely covered him in blood.
Oh.
So I've got my 2-year-old on one hip, my 9-month-old on the other hip, a broken face. And I walked a quarter of a mile up this road.
Uphill?
To the first house. No, it was flat. Thank God. Their staircase was uphill.
Oh, fuckers.
So it's dinner time because I just gotten off work. And I'm like, as I get to the front door of this trailer, and it's one of the, okay, sorry, I can't say trailer. It was a mobile home, and it was a very lovely mobile home.
That you're now bleeding all over.
Yes, that I bled all over their neck. They were just sitting down for dinner. And as I get to their door, I can feel the adrenaline starting to fade.
Oh.
And my 2-year-old is starting to slide down my body.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to shock. I
kicked the door. The woman opens the door, sees me covered in blood,
faints,
my baby covered in blood, and I'm dropping my son, my other son.
Did she faint?
So her husband had come to the door. No, she screamed.
Oh, yeah.
Her husband came to the door, and just as I was about to drop Andrew, he grabs him by the arm and scoops him up, and they get me in the house. And I don't remember I vaguely remember lying on their kitchen floor, and she's sitting. And he's on the phone with 911, and she's got my head and my spine, keeping it perfectly straight.
Yeah.
She's trying to keep me awake, and I'm kind of fading in and out.
Yeah.
Sad part about it is the only phone number I could remember, I wasn't dating Phil at the time. The only phone number I could remember was my ex-boyfriend's.
Oh, wow.
Couldn't remember my mom and dad's. Couldn't remember my best friend's. The only one I could remember was my ex-boyfriend. So they call him. They beat the ambulance.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Okay.
It gets better. This was not my lucky day at all. You think this is the end of my troubles. I got the Laurel and Hardy of ambulance drivers.
Oh, no.
They come in. I am bleeding profusely from my face. What happens to a person who's bleeding from their face when you lie them down flat on their back?
They start to drown in their own blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. They laid me on the board, put the neck collar on. So, of course, now my head's tilted back and it's all nice and open.
Yeah.
And I'm choking on my own blood. Well, I can't tell them this because I'm choking on my own blood.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
Holy
I just
shit.
start, everywhere.
Yeah, well.
I just start spitting it. And they're backing away going, oh my God!
Oh.
Because you have to remember, this is the early 90s. It was like 92.
Yeah.
So, HIV and all that was a big scare. And I knew that. Now, I don't have it, but I knew if I started spitting blood, that would get their attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they come over, they realize, oh my God, she's drowning on her own blood. We need to sit her up.
Thanks. Thanks, Doc.
So, they prop me up so now I can breathe.
Holy shit.
So they have to go down, I think it was like 3 flights of stairs, and there was like 5 stairs, 6 stairs in each flight.
Yeah.
To get down to the ambulance.
Yeah.
Because like I said, this trailer was uphill. So they're carrying me down, and, I'm just kind of, because, I'm
Dying.
I smashed my face.
Yeah.
They checked out the kids. The kids were fine. William was covered in blood, munching on a cookie. He looked like little horror baby.
Aww.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
'Tis the season.
So my ex-boyfriend and my friend Gary said, yeah, we'll take the kids. We'll meet you at the hospital. Perfect. Car seats are in the car down the road. And Gary said, it's okay. We brought our own.
Okay.
Because they couldn't get into the car. They still don't understand how I got out of the car.
Oh, shit.
Because the door on the other side, and when I closed the door, because I got out, closed the door, locked it, carried on. And I had my purse, the diaper bag, the kids, everything. And when I closed the door, both doors seized.
Yeah.
So there was no getting in. So anyway, going down these stairs, and the idiot that was carrying the front of the stretcher dropped me twice. Do you know why there's locks in the back of the ambulance? Why they lock the stretcher in when they put you in?
Yeah. So you don't roll out of the back of the ambulance?
Well, that, and, when they decide they're going to take off at 90 miles an hour and go around a corner, you're not sliding from side to side.
Well.
Guess what?
They didn't lock you in?
Somebody missed a lock. So they pull out of the driveway, which is fine because, I'm on the left-hand side of the ambulance and they're making a right-hand turn. So gravity kind of kept me
where you're supposed to be.
Where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Well, then they made a left-hand turn, and the next thing I know, I've got the ambulance attendant pinned on the other side of the ambulance. I looked at him, and no word of a lie said, could you just pull over? I'll go with my friends. They're right behind us. I can see them.
Oh.
Just pull over. I'll get a ride with them. We'll meet you there. Okay? Just let me out. Let me out. They gave me morphine or something, and I don't remember the rest of the ride.
That's the very least that they owed you, I think, for that
No,
experience.
sorry, it was the 90s. They gave me Demerol. So, yeah, I was a happy camper. And
I would much rather get morphine. Demerol's okay, but morphine is the one step down from heroin, so
21.
Yeah.
And I want to see what my face looks like. Nobody would give me a mirror. I felt like the Joker, for crying out loud.
Give me a mirror.
Pretty much. Nobody would give me a mirror.
Well, no.
So friends of mine snuck in.
Your face
and I'm like,
is smashed to fuck.
Lisa,
So.
give me your fucking mirror. I need to see what I've done. I need to see how much makeup I need to go and buy on payday. So she gives me
makeup is not covering fractures.
Keep in mind, I've got a concussion. I've smashed my face, and I'm high on Demerol.
No, I completely understand that. But the reality, we're trying to be realistic about things here. There's no amount of makeup that's going to cover those fractures. But
I didn't know it was fractured yet.
You said you snagged your glove.
I thought it was just a scab or a piece of skin.
Okay, did you have a scab there at before this adventure started?
Dude, head injury.
Okay.
I'm not thinking straight.
All right,
cut me some slack. Cut me some slack.
Fine.
I'm not thinking straight.
You get a little bit of slack.
She hands me the mirror, and it was a total Joker moment. Because, you know how he kind of brings it over and he looks and he stops.
He smashes the mirror.
And then he smashes the mirror. Yeah, I threw it.
Lisa goes, my mirror!
When I looked in the mirror, the only thing I could see was this 1/2-inch piece of bone sticking straight up from the bridge of my nose. Right where my glasses, you see where my glasses sit?
Yeah.
Right there. It was right down from there. Like I have a divot. And you can see the stitches. I've had 3 nasal surgeries to fix it because I don't know who the doctor in ER spoke to, but they said just place all the bones back in like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
Pack it, stitch it up, and once the swelling and everything goes down, we'll do rhinoplasty.
Yep.
Okay, great. So they did that and sent me home. I had to have a chaperone. So a couple of my friends took turns waking me up every couple hours and asking me my name, my age, the date, where was I?
You're not dead, are you? That kind of thing.
You know, that was one of the questions. Lisa popped her head in. Hey! I'm like, you're not dead, are you? No.
Where's my fucking mirror?
And at some points in time, they didn't even bother to come and check on me because they knew I was all right because I rolled over.
Oh, okay.
And
well, you
roll over and you smush your face into your pillow.
Awesome.
And there would be the resounding squeal.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, she's still breathing.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Poke you with a stick, see if you're still alive and kicking.
The surgery they did, they missed a couple of bone fragments.
Fun.
And
remind me never to go to a hospital in Midland.
Yeah, no, don't. And about a year later, my nose actually started sliding off of my face.
Ye gads.
Yeah, it got to the point where this part here, I haven't always had this cute little nose. This part
Tell
here
your story there, Mona Lisa.
was almost right level with my upper lip.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, I had the hooked witch's nose, let me tell you.
Whoa.
So I went to the doctor and went, there's something wrong here. Like, parts of me are sliding off. This is not a good look for me.
Yeah.
So they went in there and the bone had all rotted and died.
Ow.
So there was nothing holding the bottom part of the nose to anything.
Oh, wow.
So they did another surgery, and you want to see a man drop like that. Oh my God. Phil went with me when they went to remove the packing after the surgery.
Yeah.
And they start pulling it out and pulling it out and pulling it out. And I'm watching him, and the next thing I know, he's sliding down the wall. Oh, honey, are you okay?
Timber.
He's like, there's like 5 fucking miles of cotton up your nose.
You fill those sinuses up, so.
Pretty much.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, so anyway, my insurance, and I didn't know this, had lapsed the week before.
Oops.
I had not gotten the letter yet because somehow the payment that I had sent them had got misapplied to something else. So It never went onto my account. So the payment wasn't made, so they suspended my insurance.
Okay.
And I hadn't received the letter telling me your insurance has been suspended as of this date. So I didn't know, so I'm driving around,
Yep.
And, the officer felt so bad for, everything that had happened. He's like, okay, so I'm not going to write you a ticket for distracted driving.
That's
I'm not going to write you a ticket for speeding. Unfortunately, I do have to write you a ticket for no insurance.
$5,000 right off the hop.
You have to go to court. Okie dokie. So I walk into court, and the day of my court date was set, I think, 2 days after the first surgery. So I'm still all black because the surgery was like a week after the accident. So I've got like raccoon eyes. I'm all black and blue and swollen. And they actually put a plaster cast on my face.
Oh, wow.
On my nose.
Okay.
On my nose to hold it. So I walk in with this plaster cast, and I'm black and blue and bruised, and, you know, I've got my 2-year-old and my 9-month-old clinging to me, and the judge took pity on me.
Was the 9-month-old still covered in blood?
No.
Okay.
No.
That probably could have got you a little more, a lenient sentence right there.
And I got no points off my license.
Oh, shit. Look at you dodging bullets.
$500 fine. And that was it.
That's not bad. That's not bad because
I know.
No insurance is like usually $5,000 right off the bat.
I forgot to pay it on time. So I go to renew my license, and I phone the ministry.
Yep.
And she says, where are you right now? At work. Why? And she says, well, don't say anything else. But I'm going to tell you, there is a bench warrant issued for your arrest for failure to pay your fine. Do what now? I'm like the most law-abiding citizen most of the time. I don't break the big laws. Ever! My dad was a fireman. I couldn't break any laws. He knew all the damn cops in town.
Well, that means you could have broke all the laws. And
No. Because they would find me. I got caught for speeding, and instead of giving me a ticket, the officer told me I had 2 weeks to tell my dad or he would.
Oh, nice.
That's a lot worse. That's a lot worse than getting the ticket.
Just take me to jail now, please.
Pretty much. Just please do not make me have to go home and tell my dad.
Oh, at least he didn't wreck the car. Speeding.
So yeah, I was in a little state of panic when I found out there was a bench warrant issued for my arrest.
Yeah, well, most people would panic once there was a bench warrant out for them.
I had have told her my location, she would have had to have notified the police because she was the ministry. She would have had to have notified the police, and they would have come to my place of work and put me in cuffs and arrested me and carted me off.
Yeah, because you got a bench warrant. Yeah.
I went up to Service Canada right away and paid my fine, and
renewed your license.
Renewed my license. Never did that again. And that is the only ticket I have ever had. Ever.
Well, that's a good ticket. That's like a story. That's a story worth ticket.
Learned. I know. Lesson learned.
Yeah. Sure. Certainly sounds like him. Well, you killed the show with that story.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. No.
Are we done?
Yeah, we're done. We're at
There's your interview.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. We're at 43 minutes.
Fuck it, keep going.
Okay, the only, I got nothing really to follow that up. I've got a couple shitty news articles, but...
They said 2 hours was good for a show. We have no time limit.
No, but...
Yeah, no, you gotta run. God, literally.
Damn it. Well, that and the fact that my Adobe Flash decided to upgrade right now, so that takes care of that. That's not going to work. So, you got another story to tell?
I don't think so.
No, I guess that's
I probably do. I mean, I won Member of the Month at some point in time.
I know. So unprepared.
I know, right?
Wait. TheWorldOfMyth.com. TWMBP.
That's right.
At TWMBP at Twitter. At Lupa B on Twitter.
You can't find Mike because he doesn't want to be found.
Nope. Facebook.com/TWMBP for the podcast page for us.
Yeah, send us messages because, nobody likes us. Nobody sends us messages.
They don't ever.
I know. We never get anything. Nothing.
No, okay.
Nothing.
The only time feedback will be given is if
we suck?
If we suck, or there's some sort of massively egregious social faux pas one of us makes.
So we're going to hear from the feminists.
Possibly. Possibly.
I'm sorry.
And politicians.
I'll turn in my card. Oh, don't get me started on politicians.
We already
Dave's
started on politicians.
Got me wound up about that bull pucky shit. Fuck.
It was funny.
He's probably been sending messages. I have the volume turned off. Oh, none. Did you tell him we were podcasting?
Probably. We told him we were podcasting today. So when we both disappeared at the same time, he probably put 2 and 2 together.
Oh yeah, he has been sending messages and we stopped talking, so. Oh,
okay. No, I said the MAGA hat that Trump wears when, okay, this is my little bit of politics for this podcast. Every once in a while I like to stir the pot.
Every little once in a while?
Every little once in a while. So everybody now we're talking about the Ontario election for Premier, Doug Ford.
Do we have to?
Would you want more win?
I don't want either of them.
Well, okay, there's nobody else. Horvath is just as bad.
Orange would have been good.
Orange is just as bad as red.
It's better than bucket beer.
Well, so?
He's talking about clawing back the minimum wage. We're not getting the minimum wage raise in 2019. And now he's talking about clawing back the minimum wage raise we just got.
Okay.
Dude, I'm going to be making less than $14 an hour. Well, to Americans, yes, I know that sounds a lot. Because that's not their minimum wage.
No.
But things are a hell of a lot more expensive here.
Yes. Yeah. Anyways, that's not the point I was trying to make. But because everybody,
you started it.
I know. Okay, I was just gonna go. I was stirring the pot during the results of the election when Doug won. I posted MOGA, Make Ontario Great Again.
Moga.
And people lost their fucking minds. And that's when the hate started to pour in. That's when I closed my Facebook for the day. My job here is done. Click.
I have a friend of mine that I'm not exactly sure if he is a Trump supporter and if he is a Doug Ford supporter. I think he is, but that's neither here nor there. Whatever. I posted something the other day on my wall. It was mildly political about consent.
Okay.
And no means no and blah, blah, blah. And he posted, "Go Ford, go."
What's that? Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I left it. Although I did have a conversation with him on my wall today. He was, being his typical. I've known this guy forever.
Okay.
His name is Jeff Ford. Because
okay.
I do know he does listen to the podcast because, he's like that. And I was telling him to listen to this one.
He must be like, oh, they're talking about me.
He said something and I told him, keep it up and I'll just have to kill you off again. And he laughed and he says, "That's a daily. I'm married." And I said, "Yes, but have you ever been made into jerky?" And he went, "Turkey jerky?" And I said, "No, I wrote an article for another magazine and I made jerky and it was called Jeffrey Jerky." And he didn't respond after that. I haven't heard from him since then.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'm going to let a little secret out here.
Ooh.
For politicians and politicians and politics in general on Facebook, whatever you're a fan of, I'm a fan of the opposite thing.
Yep.
So, I don't give a flying fuck about politics or politician at all. I find it odious at best, politics and stuff like this. But if you say, Hillary is better, I'm going to say Trump is better. Because
you're a dick.
I'm a dick. And there needs, the force needs to be balanced.
Wave that phallic flag proudly.
Yes, I do. If you want to wear a pussy hat, I'm going to wear a dick hat.
You know, okay, talking about the pussy hats, it actually took me a while to realize that it's a hat with cat ears.
No.
I'm looking at it going, that doesn't look like a pussy, I'm sorry.
Okay, some of those were the ones that you've seen. I've seen the ones that look like actual vaginas.
Oh, I haven't seen those.
Yeah,
I've seen
there's
these
been
things
pictures
with
of
corners.
Those. No.
And I'm like, I've never seen a vagina with corners. I'm sorry. Like, there are no corners.
No, usually it's pretty.
And it wasn't until I saw one on a little girl that I went, oh, they're cat ears.
No.
Oh, now I get it.
No, not these ones that I've seen.
There
were some pictures from that Million Mom March that hit, Washington DC or something like that.
The one that doing a comparison between Trump's and whatever. And,
the inauguration of Trump and they're like some of the quote unquote pussy hats were there, and they were straight up vaginas on these women's heads, and I'm going like, why? Why would you?
I am
do that?
all about freedom of choice.
Absolutely.
And, freedom of women's rights to choose what happens to their own bodies. But I'm not going to get into a political debate with somebody over my beliefs, and I'm not political either.
No.
And I'm not going to argue with somebody about politics because I know very little about politics because I choose to not follow it.
Absolutely.
There is enough bad crap happening in the world right now. I don't need to listen to
Fox
or
News,
pay attention to
CNN.
What's going on with the leaders of our country, because the people that live in our country are fucking it up fine all on their own.
Absolutely.
They don't need somebody to lead them to do that.
No.
In my town alone, just recently, there was a kidnapping in the park right beside my house.
Oh, shit.
2 days ago. They arrested a 33-year-old man, a 44-year-old man, I think he was 33, a 44-year-old man, and today they got the third man who was 19.
Oh, wow.
A couple of weeks ago, 4 people broke into somebody's house here in my town and bear maced him.
Oh, shit. A home invasion?
Yes. Oh, there had been a few of those, but they bear maced him.
Fuck.
My daughter's boyfriend was jumped and bear maced. I'm leaving work today and I'm walking up the alley behind the grocery store to go to the bank, and I run into an old school friend of mine, and her and I are chit-chatting, and as we hit the alley, there's 3 OPP cruisers. Well, 2 OPP cruisers and the big SUV.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And as we're standing there chit-chatting, they're coming out with some guy in handcuffs. And I mean, he is tweaking big time. The whole body's vibrating and he's like hopping on his toes. And I'm like, what kind of goddamn town? There's 17,000 people here. It's small.
Yeah.
And crime is just getting, so I don't need to watch Facebook and the news and all of that crap.
Yeah.
Because my own town is scaring the hell out of me.
Everybody's town is gone to shit. And I don't know.
And it's got nothing to do with politics.
No.
It's got nothing to do,
No.
like, a lot of people will say it's because of who's in power and the messages they're putting out there, and they're riling up the right wing, and they're riling up the gun enthusiasts, and they're riling up this. No, they've already been riled up.
Yeah. They said
they're using it as an excuse to be dicks.
Yeah. Yeah. On both sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
So everybody is equally to blame in all of this nonsense. And that's your political minute from the world of myth.
There you go. And it'll probably be the only one you're ever going to get.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, not
unless,
serious.
Of course, unless, of course, we're being dicks.
Which would never happen.
Oh, not in a million.
No, you can trust us. we have your best
Oh no,
interest
you've
at heart.
already said a few podcasts back they can't trust me. I'm sketchy as hell.
Fuck yeah.
So, you know.
What are you going to do? Let's get out of here.
Take us out of here.
Yeah. All right. So, don't forget to go check out www.theworldofmyth.com for your monthly dose of independent authorhood and art and poetry.
Incredible artwork.
This month's art is stunning.
Oh my God.
The artists Dave has been able to find just keeps getting better and better. The
quality of all of it, the poetry,
yes.
the writing, everything is just...
Well, steel sharpens steel. And everybody that's been going into the magazine of late has been looking at all the stuff that's been going into the magazine of late and going, I gotta step my game up.
Yeah,
that's why you haven't seen any of my fucking hack jobs in there. So.
Oh, come on. If you go to the magazine, click on L, go to Mike Lutz, and read his stuff. It's good.
Yourself.
It's good.
Save yourself the time.
Good.
Click on L for
really good.
Lolly Napier or D for DC Diamondopoulos.
Yes.
And read quality stuff.
E for Walter G. Esselman.
Yes. So there's much better authors out there than I am. But
you didn't throw my name in there.
That's what I said.
Don't read my shit.
I don't.
I know you don't.
I know. I'm a dick. Anyways.
You're a dick.
So,
I love you.
TWOMBP on Twitter, at Lupa B on Twitter. What else you got?
Stephanie Barty on Facebook. Stephanie Barty Author on Facebook. I have a fan page. Come be my fan, because, you know, I need fans. I need friends.
Tell me, validate me. Please tell me I'm worth something.
Make me worthy.
Somebody like me. Somebody like me.
You can find me on YouTube at Stephanie Barty, and you'll see promo videos for my book that's coming out in December. It's getting close.
Yep.
I'm getting nervous. But yeah, that's where you can find us.
You got a website?
Oh yeah. www.stephaniebarty, B-A-R-D as in dog Y, .me. M as in Mary, E. You know, me. My website is all about me.
.u?
.me.
That's what I said. .u.
Keep it up and I'll tell them where to find you.
You don't want to come to my front door unannounced.
I'm gonna one day.
No.
Just for our listeners, we are not anywhere like
we're
close
hours
to each other.
away from each other.
We're like 4.5 hours away from each other, so I can, say nasty things and he can say nasty things and we both escape
geography.
Geography.
Anyway, so that's got it. Then we're going to wrap this up at it. So for another week at the World of Myth Bits podcast, I'm Mike Lutz.
And I'm Stephanie Barty.
We will talk with you next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.
The World of Myth Bits.